Okay, let me take a taste of this cream of mushroom soup. And it's got a topping of sauteed brown mushrooms with a little bit of parsley. I love it. I think it's gonna be so, so good. And I'm hoping Chris and our friends like it as well. So cream of mushroom soup. Well, hi, it's Amy Roloff in my little kitchen. Anyway, today, or tonight, I really should say, I'm gonna make cream of mushroom soup. Now, I grew up with the canned version mainly, but I really love mushrooms. And Chris and I are having friends over, another couple over for dinner, and I had asked them, because not everyone is a fan of mushrooms. I said, do you like mushrooms? She goes, yes, we like mushrooms, like we do. I thought, okay, Lord willing, you're gonna like cream of mushroom soup. So I am making cream of mushroom soup. An earlier video I did for this particular dinner party that I'm doing, I made pecan pie tarts, or pecan pie tarts. And so we're gonna have that for dessert with the cream of mushroom soup with some hanger or skirt steak, and I'm gonna make my green salad with some bread. Anyway, let's get on to the cream of mushroom soup. I don't think any of my other family would really like this. Zachary doesn't like mushrooms. Molly may. I could make it vegan or vegetarian, and I think Jacob and Isabel would like it. Chris likes it, because I had to ask him too. So anyway, I am making cream of mushroom soup. You know, I've gone online, I've seen different versions, because I always like to see what other people do and what they put their spin on. And so this is going to be my version of cream of mushroom soup. You can use kind of a variety of mushrooms, your button mushrooms, your cremini mushroom, shiitake, even portobello mushrooms. I went to our grocery store and I decided not to do portobello. So I just have cremini. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Cremini mushrooms. And I have shiitake mushrooms. So that's going to be the main star of the soup. And I'm going to reserve a little bit of it, and I'll saute these a little bit later in a little bit of garlic, a little bit of butter or whatever. So that, because I think once I kind of blend this up, and I will blend this up, I want it creamy. I want it, you know, light, not too heavy, not too thick. But I also think this would make a nice garnish with some brown sauteed mushrooms on top with a little sprinkle of parsley. So yeah, anyway. And then I've got, I think two stalks of celery, 1 carrot, because I don't know, you gotta have carrot in soup. Kind of just enhances that flavor and gives it that little extra, especially for a cream soup as well. Sometimes you don't need to do the carrot, but I'm putting a carrot in. And I have about 1.5 cups of chopped up onion. I've got some parsley here. Now I am choosing white wine because we're gonna have steak. I didn't want the soup to be heavy and then with the steak, so I'm using white wine to put in this cream of mushroom soup. But you can use sherry if you want, or what's another one? I would not use Pinot Noir wine. Maybe Marcella, dry sherry. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna use white wine. I think I'm gonna use about 1/2 cup of white wine. Salt and pepper, of course. I've got thyme over here by the stove top, because a lot of what we're doing here is gonna happen right over there. So I have to move everything over there. So anyway, in Amy Roloff's little kitchen, I'm getting ready for having another couple over, Chris and I, for a little small dinner party. So in Amy Roloff's little kitchen, cream of mushroom soup. Okay, these are the times where I wished I had an island stovetop. I'm really not a fan with that because I don't like cooking on an island and people are sitting there. But anyway, so this is your viewpoint from my stove at my house. So I melted about maybe about 4 tablespoons of butter, and I drizzled some olive oil in here too. In fact, I might do a little bit more of olive oil. You know, maybe about a couple of tablespoons or about 1/4 cup maybe. Get that all warmed up. What are we gonna start with first? I think I'm gonna do my onions first. So about 1.5 cups of onions. We're just gonna put that all in there. We're just gonna saute this a little bit, add the carrots and the celery. I turned down my stove because I didn't want the butter to burn. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm loving my apron because as you can tell, you know, I'm right here and everything can splatter on me. So I love a bib apron. Oh, did I get an onion skin in here? What in the world? Okay, we're gonna do away with that. Oh, you know what the one thing I forgot to do? Oh my gosh, garlic. You need garlic for soup. Okay, I'm gonna go and get, I think about 2 cloves of garlic maybe, and chop them up. So I'll be back. Hi, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you are enjoying it. And I would really appreciate it if you liked it and subscribed to it. And oh, don't forget to click that little bell up there and you'll be notified of future videos that are new and coming on my YouTube channel. So thank you so much for that. And I would really appreciate it if you shared the video and let other people know and encourage them to subscribe and like the videos as well. So anyway, thank you and back to the video. So I put the stove top on low. We're just gonna chop this up a little bit. So yes, as I was saying, it really depends on your cloves. If you've got some really big ones, I would say only 2. If, you know, they're kind of on the small size, maybe 3 or 4. Okay, I think that's enough. And here I am, I'm gonna go bring them over to the soup. And I'll bring you guys back over there. Okay, here we go. We've got onions and now garlic sauteing. I'm just gonna kind of brown this a little bit. Not quite translucent because we still got to do the celery and the carrots. I'm gonna put the carrots in here. Now the celery. And then after all of this goodness, I'm gonna throw in a little bit of pepper. A little bit of salt. Now I did use salted butter, so I want to be careful of my salt here. So what, maybe 1/4, maybe 1/2 teaspoon? Oh, look at this. So you want to cook this until it becomes not quite soft, but just almost. And then we're going to add in the mushrooms. Because the mushrooms are really cooked down. Man, I smell it. Just the garlic. It just smells so good. Yeah, I'm just going to let this cook down for a little bit and then we'll add the mushrooms. Okay, I think the vegetables are a little bit tender. I'm going to go ahead and add the mushrooms. Sorry, I have glasses on now because I was reading. I was reading my directions to make sure. Boy, there's a lot of mushrooms here. There is what? About 1.5 pounds. So that'd be like 2 packages, 8 ounces each. And just a little bit more of another one. And remember, even if you think, or when you're sauteing the vegetables, and you think there's too much oil or butter, the mushrooms, they're just like eggplant and everything. They really absorb the liquid. I'm gonna keep stirring these until it browns a little bit. It's gonna be so good. Oh yeah, I'm gonna add the shiitake mushrooms too. I think I should have got a bigger pot. Might have to drizzle a little bit of oil in here. A little bit more oil, because I think it's a little bit too dry. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt so that the mushrooms get a little bit of that seasonings as well, along with just a little bit of pepper. All right. Okay, I'm going to keep doing that until I think the mushrooms have absorbed, but also until they're a little bit soft before I add in the rest of the ingredients. So we'll just let this cook for a little bit, and I would have to say about 10 minutes. Okay, here's my thyme. I wanted to chop up the thyme because this is not a soup where you want like kind of big pieces of the thyme leaves. So you just take one of these and just, wait, can you see this? Just take one of these and you kind of just slowly kind of pull away, and you pull off the thyme leaves. I'm sure some of you guys already know that, but I think it's kind of fun that it all comes off like that. You can do it to oregano or rosemary too. So I've got about a couple of sprigs of leaves, thyme leaves, and it really depends on how worthy those sprigs were, because sometimes they're shorter than others. So here we go. Okay, oh, I love the smell of thyme. This is really going to be a nice earthy soup. And I think when it comes to soup, be very careful at your salt content. You know, how much salt you put in it. Because some of your ingredients will already have salt, and so I think it's a very good idea to, you know, taste it along the way. But sometimes your soup needs to sit and absorb a little bit before you really know whether it needs more salt or not. So I don't know, this is about a tablespoon of thyme. So I'm just gonna cup it in my hand here. We're gonna go back over to the soup. I kind of wish I had two cameras here. In fact, you know what, guys? That might be a good idea for me. Get another phone camera. Okay, ooh, so we're just gonna sprinkle some of this in. Get some of that flavor going on in there for the thyme. Okay, I'm just gonna put a lid on it. Just have it seep out a little bit so it doesn't create too much water. And we'll let it cook and simmer for about 20 minutes. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes. I would probably have to say probably more like 30 minutes for the soup just to thicken up just slightly. But let me show you. But look at that nice, rich color. And so what I'm gonna do now is use an immersion blender and kind of blend this all up. But for me, it's gonna be okay if there's little pieces of, you know, mushrooms and stuff like that in it. I just don't want it in this big chunks because it's kind of supposed to be cream and mushroom soup. But to me, if you want it rustic and have some of those chunks floating around, I think that is perfectly fine. Soup is kind of what you want to make it too. But I think it tastes so good. Oh, the smell of it. Oh, okay, let's get going. So I'm gonna add the cream after I use the immersion blender in this. But I want a little taste though. See if I need anything. Oh, this is good. This is good. I think what I may do too, after I add the cream to it, after I use the immersion blender and put the cream in here, I might just give it just a little bit of hint of nutmeg. You know, because when you do eggs or cream soup, sometimes you have just that little hint of nutmeg. I think I might do that. That'll give kind of a nice, warm, earthy flavor to this too. Okay, I'm gonna get my immersion blender. Okay, I'm ready to use my immersion blender. Hopefully it'll work. This will take a little bit, but just like guys have their toys, I have mine, and that's immersion blender. I think it's so fun. So you want this to blend up as much as you want. Like I said, you can have little pieces in it, or little pieces may end up in it anyway. But this will take a little bit. But it didn't take that long to make. It's just sauteing the vegetables and the mushrooms, adding in your liquid, like your broth, the wine. I think I'm gonna go ahead and add in the cream to help blend all that in there too. This is about a cup of cream. Oh, look at that. You guys see it? It's got, oh, such wonderfulness. Just your little itty bitty pieces of mushroom. Okay, I'm gonna be doing this for a little bit. I'll let you know how it looks when I'm done. So I think I have blended. Look at that. It tastes so good and so earthy and I don't know, just not really rich. It is a rich soup, but not as rich as I thought it was gonna be, which is good. But just so earthy and hearty, and oh, it just fits this time of year, you know? So I hope my friends enjoy it, but I'm not quite done yet. I did make it tonight. They're not coming over until tomorrow. So we'll come back. We'll come back to my little kitchen tomorrow, and I'm gonna finish by putting some parsley in it. I'll saute those here. I'll saute a few of these mushrooms probably just before they get here, so that all I have to do is warm them up, and that'll be, I think, a nice garnishment for the soup, and sprinkle a little parsley on it. So anyway, I'll be back. For you, you won't know the difference, but I'll be back tomorrow to finish up the soup. But I wanted to make it ahead of time so I wasn't so rushed. And this is a very good soup, like I think a lot of soups are. The next day, all of the flavors have a chance to really kind of blend together and just really kind of, you know, be friends with each other. And it's just sometimes so much tastier and richer the next day. So that's what I'm hoping. But I've got a few shiitake mushrooms and cremini mushrooms that I'm gonna slice up a little bit, saute in a little more garlic, just a little bit of salt and some butter. And I think that'll be a nice little topping for it. So we'll be back. But like all the other recipes, you can find it at amyroloffslittlekitchen.com or on my YouTube channel. So subscribe to that as well. I will be back with you guys tomorrow. So there it is. It is so rich. I just love it. It tasted so good. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. We'll be back. Okay, it is the next day, and so I pulled out my cream of mushroom soup out of the refrigerator maybe about a half hour ago, because I'm cooking it, and well, I should say I'm warming it up in the same pot, but I did not want to put a cold pot right on the burner. And so I just let it sit out for maybe about a half hour. And then I just slowly started heating it up at a low temperature and then increased it little by little. So by the time my friends arrive, another couple that Chris and I are having over for dinner, it'll all be ready, warmed up and everything else. So in the meantime, while that is happening, this is going to be my little topping. I've chopped up some mushrooms. Here, let me show you. I've chopped up some mushrooms and I've chopped up a little bit of garlic, probably about 2 cloves of garlic. And so I'm going to saute these in a pan that I have heated up over there. And that way this will be my little topping, just a little bit. And then I'm going to put most of the parsley in the soup, but just sprinkle a little bit on top of the soup too. So I think it'll be a nice little garnish. So why don't we head on over to the stove and we'll get going. Okay, so I have a saute pan heating up here. I'm just gonna put maybe about a tablespoon of butter in there. This is unsalted butter because I have found that if you add too much salt to the mushrooms, a lot of their water comes out, and then then you're not really sauteing and browning the mushrooms, but they're kind of cooking them in too much water. I'm not sure what lingo to say there. So I've got a little bit of the shiitake mushroom and a little bit of the cremini mushrooms here. So we're just gonna saute this and hopefully they will brown a little bit. So I think it'll make a nice little topping for this cream of mushroom soup. And I'll put the garlic in there in a minute. So yeah, we're just gonna brown the mushrooms a little bit. So I got it on, so I have the heat on pretty high. So my guests are gonna arrive in about, I don't know, gosh, maybe an hour. The only thing I have left to do, and that's why I wanted to make the pecan tarts, pecan pie tarts yesterday and make the soup yesterday as well, because I knew I would be rushed because I had some other work to do today. Chris should be coming home in a little bit too. He had some real estate business to do. I'm hoping he'll make it on time. This time of day, traffic can be bad. If not, I'll be starting this little get-together with just me. Okay, I'm gonna add in the garlic because I think they're starting to cook, brown a little bit. Get some flavor in there. Mushrooms, garlic, oh, lovely. And see, I think by not putting salt in there right now, I don't have a lot of like, the mushrooms releasing their liquid. I don't know, I just have found, and I do it out of habit. I'll add the salt in and then I'm like, okay, there's a lot of liquid here. What's happening? And I'll leave it in the pan, so all I have to do is just kind of warm it up a little bit before I place it on the soup. But I really wanted to kind of start this right now. So I'm almost done here. So yeah, just a little, like a teaspoon into each bowl, depending on the bowls you have. In fact, that's what I gotta do. I gotta figure out what kind of bowl I want this in. I got these little pottery, you know, that you could put chili, stew, or something like that in. So maybe that'll look a little rustic. I'll try that out. Okay, we're happening here. Oh, my soup over here is, better turn it down a little bit. I don't want it to boil away. But I exactly didn't want to put the lid on either because I think it's a nice little consistency. It's thick without being too thick, a heavy cream soup. And by putting the lid on, you create a lot of liquid too, a lot of water in it. And I don't want to water down the soup either. What I probably could do is just put a little foil on the top of it so the steam still has a chance to escape without creating water, oh my gosh. Creating water for the soup. I know I'm missing the word. Condensation. All right. I think that's about it. Now I'm going to go ahead and get going on my green salad, and I call it my green salad. In fact, I did a video and gave the recipe over at Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen or my YouTube channel, so be sure to head on over there too. You'll get it like a little video. The one thing about the green salad, any salad, you can make it your own. So what I did here, because this is what I have lettuce, I have avocado, I have a little bit of zucchini, a little bit of green onion. I'm gonna put a little bit of crunch, so I'm gonna use pistachio nuts. What else? Yeah, I've got leaf lettuce, oh yeah, arugula. Chris really doesn't like a sweet to his salad, so I might leave it off to the side. But I was thinking also of putting a green apple in that. It adds enough tartness without being a sweet apple. And I'll probably do a mustard vinaigrette dressing. So yeah, that'll be for dinner. Cream of mushroom soup. And I got Denver steak and skirt steak. And I made hanger or skirt steak before, so I'm gonna do a rub on it. And it cooks really quick, and it tasted so good last time, so I am hoping to repeat that. So here are the mushrooms. They're not too wet. I didn't want them too wet. So hopefully I will be back to show you the end results. Okay, well my soup is warming up. It's heated through, the cream of mushroom soup, so hopefully you can see that. I put a little bit of mushrooms on top, sprinkled it with parsley. So now I'm gonna have a bite because hopefully this will taste good by the time our friends come on over. And as I mentioned before, I'm making my green salad. Everything in it is green. So this is what I had in my refrigerator. I had green leaf lettuce, some arugula. I'm gonna put pistachio nuts on it. I have a little bit of zucchini, green onions, parsley, avocado, and I do have some fresh thyme. So I might even put fresh thyme in the salad, or it'll be part of the dressing. I'm not quite sure what I wanna do. But, oh yeah, and then Brussels sprouts as well. So I cut it really thin. It's like shaved Brussels sprout. So that's my green salad. And my steak is right here, and I just put a rub that I made. It's got a little bit of cayenne, paprika, salt, pepper, garlic, think onion. I can't remember all of the ingredients, oh dear. And just a hint of brown sugar on it just to kind of take away a little bit of the heat and the spice. So anyway, and then garlic bread. So let me take the star of the show, hopefully. Well, for the guys, it'll be the steak. But it's the cream of mushroom soup. Okay, let me take a taste of this cream of mushroom soup. And it's got a topping of sauteed brown mushrooms with a little bit of parsley. I love it. I think it's gonna be so, so good. And I'm hoping Chris and our friends like it as well. So cream of mushroom soup. And the chewiness of the brown mushrooms, so good. Well, you can find this recipe along with the green salad, and I'll also include the rub if I haven't done it already. It is similar to the rub that I did for the brisket, and so you can use the same one or, you know, something else that you like, but that is the rub that I put on this steak. So you can find this recipe and all of the others over at amyroloffslittlekitchen.com or on my YouTube channel. So check it out, let me know what you think, and from my kitchen to yours, I hope you enjoy.